Hi guys, welcome to my channel, and today I will be showing you how to make another Filipino dessert, a Filipino dessert called sanjuva. It has definitely been a hot minute since I last posted a cooking video. I just kind of had like a mental block with the start of school, and it is actually now end of October. That is crazy. And yeah. So sanjuva is, I've already said this, is a Filipino dessert. It is one of my favorite desserts, and this is the first time I am making it. This is the first time I'm making it. Well, not right now. I filmed this on like the weekend before actual Canadian Thanksgiving. So after you have measured everything out, the first thing you're gonna do is whip up the egg whites and the sugar into a meringue. Just make sure that your bowl is clean when you're making the meringue, just because egg whites doesn't like any kind of like fat or oil on it. Like it just doesn't whip up nicely if there's oil or fat on your like either whisk or bowl. Yeah. And once your mixture is thick and meringue, I know meringue is not a word, but once your mixture is thick and meringue, you are going to add the vanilla and ground cashews. Just don't forget to save some of the cashews for later when you're assembling the cake. And once that's all mixed up, you're gonna bake it, and I had used 3 different methods to cook the meringue. I had used the floured pan, a silicone mat, and parchment. I personally, for me, the parchment worked for the best. But yeah, just use it to your own discretion. And yeah, I don't have a clip of it, but basically what you're looking for when it's finished is that the meringue is crispy and kind of wafery like. Yeah, just make sure it's crispy. And don't burn it. Also, just make sure you cut it and take it off the pan right after you take it out of the oven. Otherwise, it's just not going to cut out and / come out as nicely once it's cooled. Yeah. For the buttercream, what you are basically going to be doing is whip up some egg yolks and then add in the sugar syrup into it, and just whip that up until it's pretty much either room temp or it's not hot. The sugar syrup, just when you're making that, make sure it's clear and thick, and it's pretty much should be in the softball stage in the candy making process, if you're familiar with that. Yeah. And pretty much once it's room temperature, the egg mixture, just set it aside for now and then whip up the butter. Whip up the butter and make sure the butter is pretty much just fluffy and soft and smooth. Don't forget to keep scraping the bowl just to make sure it's, all in consistent. It's all one consistent texture. Yeah. And after the butter is whipped up, you're gonna add the egg mixture back in. Just whip that up a little bit and then add some rum. If you don't have rum, just use some cool coffee. Yeah.
it is now time to assemble everything. To assemble this, you are going to start off with a layer of wafer, and then a layer of buttercream, and then a thin layer of cashews, and you're just going to repeat that until it's finished. And you're gonna end up with the last layer is gonna be cashews on top. So yeah. And the way I suggest to layer this is to use the two nicest pieces you have on the bottom, well, as the top and bottom pieces, and the not so nice pieces in the middle, just because that is just so there's more stability to the cake, and it's easier to transfer. It. Yeah. Okay. And just to finish this all off, just to let you know, this clip is actually a couple days later, so you can keep it in the fridge for a while. Yeah. And yeah, it was a couple days later. And as you can see, I'm just trimming it up into a nice rectangle, and I'm just adding some berries to it as decoration. You don't really have to eat this with berries, but I feel like it balances it out nicely. Yeah, because the cake is very sweet, and that's pretty much it.
So that is it for the video, and if you definitely enjoyed what you saw, give this video a thumbs up and click that subscribe button because it's free and you will get notified of the stuff that I make. And if you make this sunshine ball, definitely tag me on Instagram because that'd be so cool if it's cool to see those kind of things. Yeah. And all my social media links are always linked down below, as well as the recipe. And yeah. Okay. Bye.